Greetings, fellow butchers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech, the first Wendigo, episode 109, Deep Freezer. Alright, I'm going to wake Wendy up just to accelerate the egg extraction of the colonists so they can get back to work, so they're not waiting around. So that's Frosty. I think Rogi do for one. Yep. Oh boy. Cheers. Wendy is Wendy's busy. Busy. I feel like the Fabricors are just not shredding anymore. Well, are they just so bogged down with other work? Yeah, I think they're just so bogged down with other work that they're just not shredding mechs anymore. So, the shredded mechs, I'm going to have it become... Kath's job. Where is... Yeah. There we go. Doesn't require a lot of walking, and that's fine for a two-peg-legged vampire. Oh yeah, I'm definitely in net negative for waste packs. We only have a few here, and I bet there's space in some of these. Yeah, there's some space to get rid of almost all of them. That's great. That's a really good milestone. I mean, I know that that Bryza has a ton of bandwidth, and you know, using up that bandwidth is inevitably going to cause us to produce more waste. But at least we're in the net negative for now. So, the next big mega project, what do you guys want me to do? What should the next big project be? Meat storage? What were some of the other big projects that people had suggested? Gestation or mech, gestation and recharge area? Wendy, self-improvement. She could always be stronger, faster, better, etc. Gestating mechs for Bryzit. Because Bryzit has kind of an empty roster. What are some other big projects worth having? Recreation room. / dining room. We still don't have one of those. Or viewer suggestions. There you go. You guys decide. So Rogi, you're idle. And I think that's just because I haven't given you any tasks. So let's put you on clean and craft, just like the others. We scan silver. It's right next to the steel, actually. It's fine. I'm going to unsuspend the slate block queue, I guess. Or the any blocks. Might as well. Oh, you added an automatic ovum sperm genes harvest to the IVF equality? Cool. I like to sort of schedule them in big bulk. I realize that if I like set it up right, that it will automate it like that for me. But the reason I like to schedule like that is so that I can just do all the eggs all at once and then sort of breed them and fertilize them and then you know, it makes it a little bit easier on me, I think. But that's cool that it can be automated. Would otherwise be useful. Alright, getting the deep drill ready. Putting a door on it, all that stuff. There's still a lot of medical operations waiting, pending. And there's some corpses still in that room that probably should be pulled out before they decay. It's a bad place to kill people, in other words. I never ended up calling in that trade caravan that I wanted. Let me call them in. And I might as well call in a Amboss war merchant, because I have a lot of guns that could be dedicated to the tribals. Thrombo fur from the sky. My favorite kind. Well, if you haven't voted on the work projects, please do. But it looks like meat storage is a popular one. I have like proto meat storage, but I never really got around to like making it formal. The proto meat storage would be this zone. So I could formalize this specific zone. Or alternatively, which I think might be even better, is to use some overhead mountain. Because overhead mountain will naturally be colder if we get solar flares, and to dedicate a section overhead mountain as like a meat locker. That's probably what I'll end up doing. So, if that wins, that's my intention. Maybe I'll put it here just because it's convenient. I'll turn this overhead mountain area into like deep meat storage. And that way it's still useful while also being an overhead mountain. Boy, we have so much insect meat that there is not space for it in our freezer. Our freezer's still staying frozen, so that's fine. Because of that stupid Doomsday Launcher, Wendy has a lot of repair to do over here. Another thing that might end up happening is because of the amount of additional colonists that I've been adding through breeding, I'm probably going to need some additional neural superchargers. So I'll get that started. Still 8 more colonists to be queued up, and Kath has a extraction timer of 4 hours. So it just goes to show how long it takes. It takes like a full day to extract all the eggs. We're not quite the bulk facility that we want to be. That would require a lot of paramedic bots, and I don't trust paramedic bots. They screw up a lot. Even though statistically they don't screw up any more than Wendy. She is a little biased. Alright, meat storage. Yeah, so as I stated, I intend to have meat storage here. So I'm going to mine out the rest of this area with cactus. Technically, Rogi could join too, because Rogi you can now mine as well. So I'm going to have you do it too. I don't really have armor for Rogi yet, which is, you know, a bit of an issue, but whatever. We'll get this all mined out. There is a spot on the west side that would collapse, and then there's some spots here that will collapse as well. So the plan here, if you see the overhead zone, is let's let's just use the natural terrain as much as we can and make a giant box. And box is just going to be full of human meat. So I'll keep the natural stone that I can and fill in the rest. And then I think what we'll do is just have a door here for it. So mine out everything on the inside, and then once that's done, how far across is this? 12? Oh, perfect. It will stand on its own without a roof. So that means smoothing out the edges here. The current priority is guard the royals and prisoners, fertilize eggs, and build storage. Build meat lock. So once I have shelves to be able to accommodate the human meat, I'll be able to butcher basically indefinitely. Just set the fabricors to butcher as much as they want, never stopping, and that should process a lot more. We still have 5 patients left to be egg harvested, so I'm gonna have Wendy actually help out with that as soon as she's awake. That's taken a bit too long. God, that Doomsday Launcher really shredded everything. I'm actually going to trim this mountain down a little bit, just so it's less of an annoying choke point, because that area has seen a lot of action, and it's kind of been annoying. Something else that I'm going to need to do is once the money comes in from this mech cluster guarding the royal thing, I'm really going to need additional prestige armor for Wendy, because her armor is about to decay into nothing. It's pretty damaged, and it really only has a few more attacks left before it gets shredded entirely. Hey, look at you! Your genes finally regrew from being a minor slave. You can see how much faster Rogi is than, Cactus is than Rogi. Drill arms do that, don't they? The deep drill steel sight is all set up, though. I'm just really hoping that I find, plasteel sights soon. The hauler bots are still hauling away that steel, though. That's how much steel that was mined out in the mountain to be moved. I have tons of sandstone, so I'll probably put sandstone shelves in here. Let's move this right there. Obviously, we don't need steel in the deep storage. And it's not a terrible idea to include the butcher table in here for the corpses, so that we can just process corpses where the meat is stored. I think this will be higher priority. I'm not really sure I'm going to handle that. Like 2 butcheries? I don't know. But this is mostly going to be storage. Wouldn't be a bad idea to double insulate this as well. I'll probably trim the corners off. Oh, but this is overhead mountain corner. So maybe I won't trim the corners off, but I will double insulate. So if I'm double insulating, let me move the door. Because it's going to look something like this. And that way, In the case of a solar flare, it stays colder longer. Lifter is back. It's a Lowe's lifter, and Lowe is in a coma. Kath, I believe you were the last one to be egg harvested. So let's get that queued. And I said 20, right? So we have 18 eggs here. I'm missing one that has yet to be hauled somewhere. But then we'll try to do somewhat more intelligent breeding, I think. Make sure that we're getting the most bang for our buck. $19, and Kath makes 20. Yep. All right, there's the 20th egg. I think the priority for this one, this batch of eggs, is to try to get a good impid specimen. That's one thing that I've been trying my hardest, but because of all the really negative impid genes, it's really difficult to get an impid specimen that's worth keeping. And that's been a big struggle. And I find it easier to focus on a specific goal like that when breeding, so that it's easier to calculate who you want to cross with whom. So the really important ones would be any of my current impid hybrids, like Udigol and Tafluti, and Stickiest. So Stickiest is an impid hybrid that was a kind of a failed experiment. Tafluti, Udigol is another impid hybrid, which is a better but still yet failed experiment. And then Udigol is the newest addition, wherever Udigol is in this room. Or, no, Tafluti. Udigol is the newest addition and is the closest, but still a missed hit. And then there's Tafluti somewhere in here. There you are. Oh, no, you weren't an impid hybrid. You were pigskin. Never mind. I'm wrong about that. So I did say I wanted to buy Plasdeal because I'm flat out. I'll buy components, even though they're overpriced. I'm not sure what I've recently scanned that I wanted to sell. Skill Turner Crafter wouldn't be terrible for just Wendy to use. You can easily offset the cost by selling organs. Let's see. I'm not going to need gold. I think I'm going to succeed that other quest. I'm going to get a windfall of gold as a result. So they have low libido, which... where is the specific xenogerm for it? I'm curious if it's a... Okay, so it's a total complexity. I have to click it here. +1. But it's... it doesn't have any metabolism, so that doesn't matter to me. Heat tolerant doesn't matter to me. Gaunt head definitely don't want. So I don't want to buy any of theirs. Anything for me to sell. I don't think I'm ever going to need strong cooking. I don't think... It's not something I need. The Fabricors are cooking for me, so that's unnecessary. And maybe that's it. I haven't scanned very much. What I really should do is I should like write down what I've scanned so that I keep it in my memory to be able to sell it. But clearly it's not a not something I've been doing often enough. Okay, so this is a decent trade. And I'll just gift them a heart. Like it's Valentine's Day. +9 for 1 heart. It's pretty awesome. So Wendy is now at a 19 craft. And there's lots of resources left to be hauled up there. It's all these temporary prisoners, surprisingly enough, because they're not genetically engineered to be low eaters, it's eating into the rice stalks. Pun intended, I suppose. So we got to keep an eye on that, because I don't want to run out of food. Not that I think I'm at risk. The royals are here for 12 more days, and the prisoners for also 12, because I guess a stagger assigned them. So the big thing is I need to remember to scan Kim when Kim comes up. All but Kath's egg has been... No, it's not Kath's egg. Whose egg are we waiting on? Oh, this one. So let's haul that egg over so I can start doing the geneticist science. And the walls of the meat locker, I mean, they're coming. So all eggs are accounted for. And I did mention that I really want to aim for impid. So the eggs that are most important to me at the moment are the impid ones, but also I would say even more importantly, the impid hybrids. So the impid hybrids would be Udigal. So I'm going to cross Udigal with a baseliner. And I'm going to cross Stickiest with a baseliner. Because those are my 2 impid hybrids that are in prison with filtered genes. Because I think the chance of the impid hybrids crossing with a baseliner can filter out additional impid genes that I don't want. And Udigal was very close. It just had slow wound healing because fast wound healing was inherited. And Stickiest was sort of close with just the weak melee damage being the problem. So, who is the lucky male baseliner? I will say... Cactus, who are your relatives? I think Cactus still has fewer Lo and Chimic. And Dave. And then T-Sang is... Actually, T-Sang is less represented now. Because a lot of T-Sang's offspring died. So I'll have T-Sang do it. So T-Sang, come on up here, and you are going to fertilize those 2 impids. Udigal's there. And Stickiest is here. Okay. Oh, well that doesn't work. So Udigal. And I guess Cactus will do Stickiest. Because of, being related and all. And then I'm also going to have T-Sang and Cactus... Oops, didn't mean to cancel that. Fertilize any other hybrids that we have here that have negative genes. So that would be... any other prisoners that are put in here. Tefluti would be another one. Tefluti, are you... who's... Yeah, okay, so let's do Teflutis with T-Sang. Never mind, I'm going to do that with Cactus. It's becoming kind of a cesspool in here. Alright, so let's check out these eggs. Here's Udigal cross T-Sang. And it is a viable impid. It has strong melee damage, mini horns, and dark vision, so it's a 3 out of 11. Totally a hit. So Urugel is worth crossbreeding out of. Nice. This one is a Cactus Defluti, and it is viable, but I'm not going to keep it. It is a pigskin that lost the strong stomach, so it's not really worth keeping. And this is a failed impid because it has the weak melee damage. So at least we got one viable impid colonist, which is a first. That is a big milestone. I think with Cactus, I'm going to have you not fertilize any more eggs in here. So let's go ahead and move that one good egg out. And the next empty vat, I will... I'll grow it. So that's the top left one. Okay, so for the rest of the eggs, I am going to... The parts about impid genomes that we don't like, the big ones, would be slow wound healing and weak melee damage, right? That's inheritable out of the impids that we want to avoid. Also the weak immunity. So I want to try to breed the rest of these impid eggs with someone that has fast wound healing, strong melee damage, or strong immunity. Which might be Guero. Guero has fast wound healing and strong melee damage. So I'm going to have Guero, and this has definitely failed us in the past, but I'm going to try to have Guero fertilize all the other impid eggs for a chance to have stronger impid hybrids. And then we also have dramatically underutilized... wow, there's just a lot of bad eggs here. Underutilized... Waster 2, and I only have one Waster egg. So Pin Cross Guero, unfortunately, it inherited the weak melee damage over the strong, so that's worthless. Let's keep trying. So how about Forak Guero, slow wound healing, again, worthless. Merak is slow wound healing, weak immunity, super useless. Belarose is a Edekin. Mass is a hybrid. You. This is super bad. It's weak immunity, slow wound healing, and weak melee damage. Holy cow. Dude, I know you might be running out of juice, but stop firing blanks. Another slow wound healing, cold weakness. And these are so bad. Okay. So, forget the rest of this. Guero, go back in the pod. So, we've only liked one egg so far, and we've isolated that egg. At some point, I need to, like, feed him and get him rest, because one of these days, he's going to pop out of this, have a tantrum, and just punch a Doomsday Launcher. It's actually one of the worst places for Doomsday Launchers, and I really need to relocate that at some point. But, you know. Things to do, right? So the other one is Kath's Egg is a baseliner. So Kath's Egg is a really good opportunity to filter. And then we also have Razman's Egg. Razman is a waster, and we're really trying for a waster hybrid. So let's do T-Sing cross with Razman as a possibility to filter out the waster gaunt head, but then also keep the super immunity, which is important for us to have represented. So here's the attempt. And it lost the gaunt head, kept the super immunity, and also has psychic dependent, which is a really good offset. So this is a viable waster. The first of its kind. So 2 milestones, a viable impid and a viable waster. And both were T-Sang. So T-Sang, for that success, I'm going to have you just fertilize the rest of these eggs. Because you're the champion of this breed period. Fertilize the eggs that, you know, aren't going to be incestual, which is kind of a lot of them. I'm very glad that the game warns you when there's like incest warnings. You don't need a fertilized cat's egg because that's just baseliner cross baseliner, which is worthless. So there's 4 more eggs left to be fertilized in there, and I'll have I'll cross them with the sperm samples that I have from. So this is Cath crossed with an Ekin. Wait, are you fertilizing it? With no. What do you stop? Fertilize that way. Okay, no, you're doing it wrong. He's like, oh, well, all right, I'll fertilize that. You know, no, not like that. Oh, it requires doctoring. So I'll have Wendy do the rest. And then I'll check these eggs for viability. Imperial Trader. Okay, I need to trade with them, like, immediately. Because they'll leave because it's too cold. So a lot of the current sperm samples that are being used are from dead or sold males. Because I don't have a lot of time, because the Imperial Trader is going to leave because it's too cold, like almost immediately. Where are they? Oh, it's orbital. Never mind. So let's take a look at these eggs. See if any of them are good. This one is a generic. It's technically a colonist worthy, but it's crap. What? This one's just a dwarf. Like a stunted dwarf. Unisex beard, but sucks at mining. I don't even know. This one is a bad egg. Ooh. What is this? This is keepable. I really wish it didn't have animal war call. How many positive genes is there in there? Only 2? No, 3. It's 3 positive genes, but it also came with great animals and animal war call. Cold tolerance, strong melee damage, and robust are ones we want. But great animals and animal war call is a -6 that I wouldn't want to keep. So that's kind of unfortunate. So I'll probably not keep that, even though it has a lot of really nice genes. That's roguey, duelish. You know, it has intense UV sensitivity, which is a gene that I want, even though it's not required, because it's so potent as a offset. So I'll keep that egg. I've decided against ditching it. You're worthless. What is this thing? This thing is 1 positive gene, really expensive, so terrible. It's not even a fur skin. Another worthless one. Another worthless one. This is a Wicked Frosty. Slow wound healing, unfortunately, so that's kind of worthless. Pig voice, so that's worthless. This is another viable grunt, I think. Yeah, it's a viable grunt, but it's expensive. But strong melee damage and robust and reduced pain are the ones that we wanted to keep. It's expensive because it came with great animals, which is unfortunate because that's a cost of 3 that I wouldn't want to spend. So it could be kept, but there's better eggs. And this one is slow runner, so we're not keeping that. All right, so this was a really successful breeding round with our first viable impid, our first viable waster, and this hybrid. So all in all, big thumbs up. So let's trade with that Imperial Trader. I'm going to sell, like, most of my smoke leaf. I don't need this much. Sell most of the wake up as well. Delicate great animals. There's no purpose for great animals, so no, don't bother with that. I was really hoping, because this is an orbital trader, that they would have a better offering. They really just have crap here. This is just overpriced garbage. I guess what I could do is try to make as much money as possible, hauling over the organs. But I really didn't need more silver, so that's kind of unfortunate. Because they don't have any gene packs for sale. Like, they actually have one gene pack for sale, which is insulting the quantity. Oh well. I'm going to sell the super immune antitoxal lungs. I'm not going to need antitoxal lungs ever, paired with super immune. Okay. And I think these eggs are ones I can sell. Because they're in the trade zone. So I can get rid of them. Because the good ones are locked down with no trade beacon. All these can be traded to... Where is the trade beacon in this room? Oh, it's right here. Jack, leave it alone. Because I'll just quickly sell these eggs as well. Hey, Rosie, I'm going to lock you in there, sorry. That way it's just a really easy way to get rid of the eggs I don't want. I might even just give them to the royals. Because, or to the, you know, the Imperial Trader, because it's, they're, it will be good for rep, sort of. So here's the loser eggs. And also, I'll gift... How much beer do I have? I think I have a ridiculous amount of beer. Yeah, I'll gift the beer too. Didn't Wendy need new armor? They have prestige cataphract? I'd rather have... It's really overpriced when you buy it, and I'm about to get a windfall of gold. Granted, I do need plasteel, but buying it is just so expensive. And I wouldn't probably put her in cataphract anyway. But it's 5 out of the 7k that I have. It's like... It's really not economical at all. Alright, all the eggs have been sold. Good. Don't I have a ton of plasteel on top of the map? What do you mean? No? You mean unhauled plasteel? No, I don't even have a deep drill spot for plasteel at the moment. I had a plasteel spot here, but everything has since been hauled. There's a little bit of plasteel here, like a tiny bit, but I wouldn't say a ton is 123. That's just an okay amount. You know what I'm really surprised by? Is the fact that Mass still has 2 brain scars. Hasn't Mass been on Luciferium kind of a long time now? Like enough time to warrant a healing? Why did I say anything? Now, Randy's like, you complain. Haha, Fibrous Mechanites. Randy. I suppose to make the barracks nicer, I could put Jade in here. But that's not what your current priority is the meat locker, so I'll keep working on the meat locker. So the other thing that I haven't set up for the meat locker is cooling. And I think the way I want to cool it is in a chimney so that it can't be easily messed with externally. And I probably don't need a very large chimney for that. So maybe I'll just put the chimney down there, like this. Oh, but I don't want a door in the overhead mountain area. So let me put the chimney up here then. 1, 2, wall, repair, and repair access door. All right, that'll work. And now it's just a matter of doing the construction. So freeing Wendy up to construct and get that meat locker going. There's a lot of current mechs right now, though, that are really low on power. So we're probably about to have a big power down. Oh, look! I don't have any waste packs. So I'm going to shrink these zones down here where the pollux trees were passively removing it. 'Cause it looks like some of the pollution decayed outside of the zone. But I think we're enough in the negative that we're going to get rid of all of our waste packs. It also looks like the haulerbots are aimless. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm just going to let them haul anything everywhere. Because I don't think they're hauling steel anymore. Yeah, their hull zones were actually empty. I'm going to put them back on the hull zones because I've just filled the areas back up, but soon they'll be empty again. All right, Wendy. Oh, let me take you off of high priority doctoring. That way she spends more time building. And here we go. Here's the Imperial Trader and the Weapons Trader. And they're going to leave very quickly because it's so cold. I might even want to skip my way up there. Just because I think they're going to bail on this map tile. In like seconds. I know I would. It's negative 45. I wouldn't even blame them. Even though I paid for their attendance. So this is the Imperial Trader. Warm, UV sensitivity, blue skin. More wimpy. That sucks. No wood. Really, I'm just like selling you corsets. This is awful. I'll sell you some beer. Boy, oh boy. I sure am glad that I asked you to arrive. I mean, that happens, right? I could buy their components, I guess. I'll buy 7 components. All right, let's get over to the War Trader. And then also, before we trade with the War Trader, make sure that we put stockpiles kind of where the weapons are, and I'm going to have to remember to remove these stockpiles. So 3 stockpiles to be removed. That looks about right. I think for these guys, I'm just going to gift. My relationship with them isn't so strong, I don't think. Let me double check. Yeah, M-Test? Okay, yeah, I'm just going to gift it. They're kind of my sanitation workers, really. Because they show up and they haul away junk that I don't want. So, by every reasonable measure, they're just sanitation workers for me. Getting rid of trash so I don't have to haul it. This is a lot of stuff. I mean, I know I had a lot of weapons on the map tile. I suppose I overlooked how many there truly were. Okay. 39. That at least keeps us in the Alliance sphere for a little bit longer. Cool. And I bet now that the trade's done, they're gonna leave within seconds. Or they'll suffer from hypothermia. Game says I am out of slate. Ah, that would be true. Even though I have the slate cutting open. Well, that's gonna hold me up a bit. And there they go. They've left. Question for you guys. Should I add jade to the barracks? I have a bunch of jade. I found some in the mountain. I haven't hauled all of it. One thing to note, Wendy doesn't even have jade in her own bedroom. Her own bedroom's already very impressive, but I could add jade to her own bedroom too. Maybe is even a higher priority. I think that would be reasonable. But once I get around to hauling this jade, I'll have enough jade to probably be able to do both barracks and bedroom. And I'm just wondering if you think it's worth doing. I'll correct the poll. How's that? Should I build with jade? Yes, Wendy's bedroom. Yes, the barracks. Yes, both. Or no. And if I'm doing that, well, I'll see how the poll shakes out. But if I'm doing that, I would probably want to get more dye so that I can dye the jade, you know, Wendy colors. I think we all know what that means. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch, February 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigos,